Hey, English learners. If you've been struggling with speaking English confidently, or you're tired of stumbling over your words, then today's video is exactly what you need. If you want to sound like a native speaker, speak more fluently and feel more comfortable in any English conversation, then you're in for a treat. Just imagine this. You're speaking English with ease. No more hesitating, no more worrying about grammar rules or awkward pauses. You're able to express yourself smoothly and naturally, just like a native speaker. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, I've got great news for you. It's not a dream. There's a powerful technique that has helped countless language learners take their English speaking skills to the next level. It's called shadowing. And today, I'm going to explain exactly how this method works, why it's so effective, and most importantly, how you can start shadowing today to transform your English skills. Are you ready to unlock the secret to speaking like a pro? Stick with me throughout this video, and I'll show you how shadowing can completely change the way you approach learning English. You won't just improve your pronunciation, you'll feel more confident and natural when speaking, no matter what situation you're in. So, grab your headphones and get ready, because we're about to dive into a technique that will revolutionize the way you learn English. Let's get started. What is shadowing? Shadowing is an incredibly powerful language learning technique that is revolutionizing how people approach learning English. It's simple, yet highly effective, and is gaining popularity among language learners around the globe. In essence, shadowing involves listening to native speakers and immediately mimicking their speech without pausing. The key is to repeat what you hear right away, matching the speaker's pace, rhythm, and intonation as closely as possible. At first glance, shadowing may seem like just repeating what you hear, but it's much more than that. The true power of shadowing lies in its focus on the natural flow and rhythm of speech. When you shadow, you are not simply parroting words. Instead, you are mirroring every aspect of the speech, from the way sounds blend together, to the stress on certain syllables, to the intonation and pauses that give the language its natural flow. You are training your brain to react instantly to the sounds of the language, without relying on translation or analysis. The benefits of shadowing go far beyond memorizing vocabulary or grammar rules. It helps you think directly in English without the mental barrier of translating from your native language. This is crucial in the journey to fluency. When you practice shadowing regularly, your brain becomes conditioned to recognize English not as a series of foreign words to be translated, but as a complete, seamless language. This process enables you to respond to spoken English in real time, just as a native speaker would, allowing you to engage in conversations with confidence and speed. Furthermore, because you are constantly repeating and engaging with natural spoken English, you begin to internalize the structures and nuances of the language. Over time, this helps you speak English automatically, without having to stop and think about grammar or vocabulary. Shadowing bridges the gap between learning a language in theory and actually using it in everyday conversations. The power of shadowing. The reason shadowing is so powerful is because it tackles multiple aspects of language learning simultaneously, accelerating your progress in a way that many other methods don't. Think of shadowing as a shortcut to fluency. When you shadow, you are not just working on one isolated skill like listening or pronunciation. You are improving your entire language ability, all at once. One of the most significant benefits of shadowing is how it improves your pronunciation. Many English learners struggle with pronunciation because they don't hear the nuances of the language or fail to mimic the natural stress patterns and intonation that native speakers use. With shadowing, you are actively listening to how native speakers pronounce words, how they link sounds together, and how their pitch rises and falls depending on the sentence's meaning. This helps you replicate native-like pronunciation and intonation, which is often what makes non-native speech sound unnatural. Shadowing also boosts listening skills. Since you are required to repeat the audio as you hear it, you must pay close attention to the speaker's words, sounds, and rhythm. This heightened level of attention trains your brain to listen actively, helping you pick up on small details in natural speech that you might otherwise miss. For example, in everyday conversation, native speakers often use contractions like I'm instead of I am, or lead certain syllables like gonna instead of going to. Shadowing forces you to tune into these subtleties, which makes you more adept at understanding fast, conversational English. Moreover, shadowing accelerates fluency. Fluency isn't just about speaking quickly, it's about speaking smoothly, naturally, and without hesitation. When you shadow, you are building a foundation that helps you speak with greater ease and speed. You don't have time to stop and think about what you're going to say next. Instead, you're forced to keep up with the speaker and repeat the words as they come, which helps you develop a more fluid and spontaneous style of speaking. The more you shadow, the more automatic your speech becomes, which is a key component of fluency. Another major benefit of shadowing is how it helps you think in English. For many learners, the habit of translating from their native language into English can slow down their ability to speak and understand. With shadowing, you force your brain to process English directly, without the intermediary step of translation. As you become more comfortable with shadowing, you will start to think in English, which is a crucial step toward fluency. This shift in your thinking pattern will allow you to respond faster and more naturally when speaking English. Perhaps one of the most appealing aspects of shadowing is its flexibility. Whether you are a beginner or an advanced learner, shadowing can be adapted to suit your needs. If you're just starting out, you can practice with slower, more structured speech. As you improve, you can challenge yourself with faster, more natural conversations from podcasts, movies, or TV shows. The key is to choose content that suits your level and to gradually increase the difficulty as you become more proficient. Shadowing doesn't require a teacher or formal lessons, which makes it an ideal self-study technique. You can practice anytime and anywhere, whether you're on your commute, at the gym, or at home. All you need is an audio source like a podcast, audiobook, or movie and your voice. This makes shadowing incredibly convenient, allowing you to fit language practice into your daily routine without needing to dedicate extra time or resources. The long-term benefits of shadowing. The long-term benefits of shadowing extend far beyond just improving your speaking and listening skills. Over time, shadowing helps you internalize the structure and rhythm of the English language, making it easier to engage in conversations without thinking too much about grammar or sentence structure. As you repeat sentences and phrases from native speakers, you'll begin to recognize common patterns in how English speakers construct their thoughts. This awareness of sentence structure helps you naturally form sentences that are grammatically correct without having to think about the rules. Another great long-term benefit of shadowing is how it helps with confidence. Many learners feel anxious about speaking in English, especially when they're not sure if their pronunciation or grammar is correct. Shadowing removes this pressure because you're simply copying what you hear. There's no need to worry about making mistakes or creating perfect sentences. As you shadow, you'll gain confidence in your speaking abilities. And over time, this confidence will transfer into real conversations. Shadowing is also a great way to build muscle memory for speaking. Just like any physical skill, the more you practice speaking out loud, the more your muscles in your mouth, tongue, and vocal cords will get used to the motions required for natural, fluent speech. The repetition involved in shadowing helps solidify these speech patterns in your brain, making it easier to produce them in real time during conversations. Finally, shadowing is an excellent way to immerse yourself in the language without actually living in an English-speaking country. Many learners find that they struggle to get enough practice in their native country, where English exposure is limited. Shadowing gives you the ability to practice at any time, with authentic native material. This immersion is critical for learning a language effectively, as it helps you develop a deep understanding of both the language and culture. Why shadowing works so well? Shadowing works so well because it combines multiple language learning techniques into one powerful exercise. It's a listening practice that helps you focus on the nuances of spoken English. It's a speaking practice that improves your pronunciation, fluency, and confidence. And it's a cognitive practice that trains your brain to think directly in English, allowing you to process the language naturally. The technique also mirrors the way we learn our first language by listening, imitating, and repeating by mimicking native speakers. You are tapping into the natural way your brain learns languages. Over time, this will help you develop a more native-like speaking style and a deeper understanding of the English language. In conclusion, shadowing is one of the most effective techniques available to language learners. It's not just about repeating words, it's about engaging deeply with the rhythm, stress, and natural flow of English. By practicing shadowing consistently, you'll build a strong foundation in both speaking and listening, improving your fluency and confidence. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced learner, shadowing is a powerful method to integrate into your language learning routine. Start shadowing today, and watch your English skills soar. Start Shadowing, a step-by-step guide. Shadowing is an incredibly effective technique that can significantly improve your English skills. However, like any learning process, mastering it takes a little practice and understanding of the right steps to follow. To shadow effectively and maximize its benefits, it's important to approach it with a systematic method. Here's how you can begin your journey with shadowing and gradually enhance your speaking skills. Choosing the right material. The first step to effective shadowing is selecting the right kind of audio material. As a beginner, it's crucial to start with content that is clear and slow. If the material is too complex or too fast, it might become overwhelming and discouraging. Look for resources that are designed for learners, such as podcasts or YouTube videos that speak slowly and clearly. The slower pace allows you to focus on pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation without feeling rushed. As you gain more confidence and your skills improve, you can gradually challenge yourself with more complex and faster audio. Podcasts featuring advanced speakers, movie dialogues, or TED Talks are excellent resources for more fluent speakers. The key here is to slowly increase the difficulty of the material, ensuring that it remains challenging but still manageable. The importance of pre-listening. Before you dive straight into shadowing, take time to listen carefully to the material first. This is a crucial step in making shadowing more effective. By listening to the speaker's rhythm, intonation, and tone, you familiarize yourself with the natural flow of the language. Pay attention to the speaker's pauses, their stress on certain words, and how they connect phrases. This preparation allows you to mimic not just the words, but the way the speaker naturally expresses them. Once you feel comfortable with the rhythm and flow of the material, it's time to start shadowing. Play the audio again and repeat what you hear immediately. Don't pause to think or analyze the content. Try to speak along with the speaker in real time. If you miss a word or get a little off track, don't stop. Keep going. The goal is to stay as synchronized as possible with the speaker, even if it means missing some words here and there. Shadowing isn't about perfection. It's about developing a natural flow and rhythm in your speech. If you find that the audio is too fast for you to keep up with, try adjusting the playback speed. Many apps or video platforms allow you to slow down the audio without distorting the speaker's voice. Start with slower speeds if necessary and gradually increase the speed as you get more comfortable with the practice. Focus on the whole sentence, not just the words. One of the biggest mistakes learners make when shadowing is focusing only on repeating individual words rather than capturing the entire sentence. Shadowing isn't just about vocabulary, it's about capturing the rhythm and natural flow of speech. Native speakers often blend words together, change intonation, and emphasize certain words to convey meaning. By mimicking this, you learn not only to speak the words correctly, but to sound more natural and fluent. The role of intonation and stress. Intonation and stress are critical when shadowing. They are what make your speech sound natural and authentic. If you only focus on repeating the words without paying attention to how they are said, your speech may sound robotic and unnatural. Intonation refers to the rise and fall of your voice as you speak, while stress refers to the emphasis placed on certain words within a sentence. For example, consider the sentence, "I really love learning English." The word really is stressed, which conveys that the speaker feels strongly about learning English. If you don't mimic this stress pattern, your speech may sound less convincing or emotionally neutral. Pay close attention to the speaker's tone, pitch, and how they stress certain syllables or words. Try to match the rhythm and energy they are using. Speak out loud. Another common mistake is failing to speak out loud during shadowing practice. Some learners try to shadow silently, which reduces the effectiveness of the technique. Shadowing requires you to speak aloud, as it is a way of training both your brain and mouth to work together. Speaking out loud helps you gain confidence and comfort in your spoken English. You also become more familiar with your own voice, which can help reduce speaking anxiety in real conversations. At first, your voice may sound shaky or uncertain, and that's okay. The key is to keep speaking aloud. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're not aiming for perfection. Shadowing is about fluency, not perfection. Keep practicing, and your speaking ability will improve over time. Repetition is key in shadowing. Repetition is essential for improvement. Don't expect to master a sentence or a section of audio after just 1 or 2 repetitions. To really improve your pronunciation and fluency, repeat the same sentences multiple times. Each time you shadow the same content, you'll find yourself becoming more comfortable with the flow of speech, and your pronunciation will sound more natural. The more you repeat, the easier it will become. And you'll start to notice how much more confident and fluid your speech becomes. The goal isn't to rush through the content, it's to master the sounds, rhythm, and stress patterns over time. Repetition is your best friend in the journey to fluency. Avoid these common mistakes. While shadowing is a highly effective technique, many learners make mistakes that slow their progress. By being aware of these common pitfalls, you can avoid them and accelerate your language learning. 1. Not speaking out loud. Shadowing only works if you speak out loud. Repeating words silently or in your head doesn't help your speaking ability. If you're not speaking, you're missing out on one of the core benefits of shadowing, which is building confidence and comfort in your own voice. Always speak aloud when shadowing, even if you feel self-conscious. Though, aiming for perfection. Many learners make the mistake of stopping the audio or restarting every time they make a mistake. However, shadowing is not about achieving perfection. It's about fluency and natural expression. Native speakers don't speak perfectly all the time they make mistakes. 2. The key is to keep going. Even if you miss a word or make a mistake, focus on maintaining the flow of speech rather than striving for perfection. 3. Ignoring intonation and stress. Another mistake is not paying attention to how the speaker emphasizes certain words or the way they stress different syllables. Intonation and stress are vital in sounding natural in English. If you're only focusing on the words themselves, you may miss the subtleties that make English sound natural and expressive. To avoid this, practice mimicking the tone, pitch, and emphasis of the speaker to improve your speech. Challenge 7 days of shadowing for improved fluency. Now that you understand how to shadow effectively, here's a 7-day challenge to help kickstart your practice and boost your fluency. This challenge is designed to make shadowing a daily habit and ensure you see measurable improvements by the end of the week. Here's how it works. Set aside 10 minutes each day for shadowing practice. Choose an audio clip with clear pronunciation. It could be a podcast, a YouTube video, or even a scene from your favorite TV show. Make sure the speaker's speech is easy to follow and appropriate for your skill level. Play the clip and shadow it for at least 3 repetitions. Focus on keeping up with the speaker's rhythm, stress patterns, and intonation. Start at a slower pace and gradually increase the speed of the audio as you feel more confident. As you repeat the same sentences, you'll notice your pronunciation and fluency improving. Track your progress by recording yourself on day 1 and day 7. This will allow you to compare your improvement and see how much more natural your speech sounds by the end of the week. By the end of the 7-day challenge, you'll likely notice significant improvement in your pronunciation, rhythm, and overall fluency. Even if you feel a bit awkward or unsure on day 1, stick with it. Shadowing may feel challenging at first, but with consistent practice, it becomes easier, and you'll be amazed at how much more confident and fluent you sound by day 7. Shadowing is an incredibly powerful technique for improving your English skills. By choosing the right audio material, speaking out loud, focusing on rhythm and stress, and repeating the process daily, you'll see rapid improvements in your fluency and confidence. Don't worry about making mistakes. Focus on consistency and practice. And over time, you'll find yourself speaking English more naturally and confidently. So, are you ready to take on the 7-day challenge? Start today, stay consistent, and watch as your English fluency grows. Why shadowing works. When you start shadowing, you may wonder what makes this technique so effective compared to others. The secret lies in 2 key elements: consistency and immersion. These are the cornerstones of the shadowing method that make it such a powerful tool for learning a language. Shadowing is not just about repeating words, it's about engaging with the language in a natural, fluid way. When you shadow daily, your brain starts to process English automatically. This means that you're not consciously thinking about grammar, vocabulary, or pronunciation. You're simply reacting in real time, much like a native speaker would. The more you practice, the more instinctive this becomes, and over time, it significantly enhances your fluency. One of the major benefits of shadowing is that it reduces anxiety. Many learners struggle with speaking because they fear making mistakes or not sounding natural. With shadowing, you're following a model, so there's no pressure to create your own content or be perfect. This makes the process feel less intimidating. By mimicking the speech of others, you take the stress out of producing the language on your own, and instead, focus on improving your speaking ability and building confidence. As you continue practicing, you'll also notice that your confidence increases. When you shadow regularly, you begin to hear and speak English more comfortably, which helps you feel less anxious in real conversations. The brain gets used to processing language in this way, and as a result, speaking English starts to feel more natural and automatic. You'll find yourself speaking with greater ease, and you won't have to think as much about how to phrase your sentences. Shadowing is also incredibly fun and interactive. Unlike traditional language learning methods that can often feel monotonous or tedious, shadowing keeps you actively engaged. You're not sitting in a classroom memorizing word lists or laboring over grammar rules. Instead, you're listening to real, dynamic conversations and imitating how native speakers interact. This makes learning feel like a natural part of your daily life, rather than a repetitive exercise. Shadowing allows you to mimic real-life scenarios, which makes the learning process more enjoyable and directly applicable to real conversations. The more you engage with this technique, the more you'll feel like a part of the conversation, not just an observer. Shadowing helps you internalize the rhythms and patterns of the language, rather than just focusing on isolated words or phrases. This approach leads to more effective language retention and helps you absorb English in a more holistic way. Instead of memorizing words in isolation, you're learning them in context, which is a far more effective and natural method of language acquisition. The beauty of shadowing is that it helps you practice all the skills you need for speaking fluently, without requiring special equipment or a teacher. You don't need to memorize vocabulary lists or study grammar rules in isolation. Instead, you're working directly with authentic content listening, speaking, and understanding in a context that mirrors real-world language use. If you've been looking for a way to take your English speaking skills to the next level, shadowing is the technique you need. It allows you to immerse yourself in real, practical conversations, boosts your fluency, and increases your confidence in speaking. But remember, the key to success is consistency. Start slow, choose clear audio, and commit to practicing every day. Don't worry about being perfect. Shadowing is all about progress, not perfection. Over time, you will notice improvements in your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. If you're committed to improving your English and mastering this technique, I encourage you to give shadowing a try. Share your commitment in the comments below by dropping the word shadowing, and let me know how this technique is working for you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more language tips and strategies. I'll be back with more exciting content to help you on your journey toward fluency. By following this guide and avoiding the common mistakes many learners make, shadowing will quickly become one of your most powerful tools for mastering English. Whether you're a beginner or have been learning English for some time, shadowing can help you improve faster and with more enjoyment than other methods. Stick with it. Practice every day. And before you know it, you'll be speaking more fluently, confidently, and naturally. Thanks for watching. And remember, keep practicing. Every step forward is progress, and you're one step closer to mastering English.